Hello, everyone. Let me know that you can hear me and see me. We're live today, and today I wanted to do a short training and maybe we'll do a little activation, a money meditation activation on manifesting more money with God. This is one of my absolute favorite topics. I did a whole 2 hour training inside of the Money Grid earlier today on manifesting with God, on earning with God. That's why you see all of our notes in the background. So, the first thing that I want you to know about manifesting with God is that currently there's morphogenetic fields or grids of data sets of consciousness that you are plugged into that tell you how to manifest. And for most people, like in the Earning with God training, we were talking about how in like the immigrant, community, there is a very specific formula that you're taught on how to be successful, how to have prestige, how to have respect, and therefore how to have money. And the thing with that formula is that it works. It's a cookie cutter formula that if you apply the principles, it will work. The sad reality, though, is that not everyone wants to live that lifestyle. And for a lot of people, it's a limiting lifestyle because they actually could have had more freedom, more fun, more money manifesting with God. So the formula is you get an education, you get a job in like high powered careers like lawyer, doctor, CEO, that kind of a thing. And then you work really, really, really hard and you save and invest, and then you're successful. The great thing about this formula is that it freaking works. We have enough data, enough information to know that it works. And it's definitely better than not going to school and not working hard and not making anything of yourself. However, those are not the only two options. Except they are presented often as the only two options in the immigrant space, right? Like, raise your hand or let me know in the chat or give this a thumbs up if you have been sold that story. And like I said, that story works. And so if you are not a free thinker, if you do not have the ability to create for yourself, if you are one of those people that needs someone else to give them the entire formula, and you are just here to be a follower and you're just here to just follow the simple roadmap or the framework that someone else has given you, follow that one because it works. It's safe, it's cushy, and it works. However, some of us are not here to follow that cookie cutter formula because we are free thinkers, we're creatives, and we want to actually co-create something really beautiful and amazing and outstanding and extraordinary with God. I tried the whole, work hard in the corporate world, and I knew really quickly that this is going to stifle my soul. As much as I love education and learning, I didn't want to take all of my beautiful education and like filter it through the rules of someone else's corporation. I wanted to create with God. So the first thing that we absolutely have to dismantle is that those are the only two rules. The only two rules are either you're not making anything of your life or you're working the corporate 9 to 5. Now, there are some people that thrive in the corporate 9 to 5, and they should definitely follow that. But then there's people that numb themselves and have to kind of put up with that because that's what society tells them is the safest thing. One other thing that we were talking about in the money grid that I want to talk about here is that as a woman, no matter how financially successful you are, if you are with a man who is not providing for you, you have a huge leak in your financial bucket. And this leak in your financial bucket is very unique to other leaks in your financial bucket in the sense that it also leaks your spiritual energy, life force energy. It leaks your radiance, it leaks your femininity. And so a lot of women that are in these kind of relationships where a man has literally poked a hole in their financial bucket, think that they just have to work harder and make more money. But that isn't the solution to your problem. This is the analogy that my husband gives. I think this is also in his course, in his financial course, but he's used this often even on my YouTube channel. If you had a bucket and you were trying to fill this bucket up with water, and if there was a big old hole in this bucket, your best bet wouldn't be thinking, oh, I should get a larger hose, or I should just turn up the faucet all the way. You could get a larger hose, you can turn up the fast faucet all the way, but the reality is you still have a freaking hole in your bucket and water is not going to be able to accumulate. So if you want to be able to really earn with God and manifest with God and really have a fully prosperous life, like in all your areas, like really be wealthy. We were talking about in the money grid all the levels of wealth. And I borrowed this, of course, from the financial industry and then added my spiritual touch to it. But there's the average person working to nine to five, and their biggest dream is to be able to earn six figures, right? Like that's the top of their game. Well, after that is the millionaires range, right? By the way, I have a wonderful course, a play shop with the name Millionaires. It's linked in the description box if you want to learn more about activating that stage. And that's a combination of your masculine and feminine energies creating this beautiful baby of $1 million. The stage after that is the stage of the multimillionaire. The stage after that is the stage of the decamillionaire. And the stage after that is the high net worth individual or company or family. After that is the ultra high net worth. And then after that is the billionaire stage. So if you want to be able to activate all of these stages and truly be happy and fulfilled in your life, I think that these stages are not just representative of your net worth, but they're also representative, if you're doing this right and if you're expanding your container the entire way, of how you feel in the world and the activation in your voice and how much love you get to experience and give in this planet and the options that you have available, as in the range of directions you can move in and the choices and the flavors that you get to experience, right? So each stage requires a certain activation of your divine feminine. But most women are not going to be able to move up this level because there's a big old hole in their bucket of a man that's seeping their energy, asking them to do per 50-50, having them on hot and cold all the time. And you can't do this. You can't experience life in this beautiful, magnificent way if you've got these holes in your bucket, right? So the first thing you want to do is get out of how many options you think they are. I even see this in people that comment under my videos, DM me. I see this in people all around me. It's either this or that. Well, if I can't have this, then it's that. It's like there's this constriction of we have to choose between these very limited sets, right? Like it's like you're stuck in the 2D. It's like you can only move this way or this way. But if you have access to more dimensions, you can move this way and this way and this way and this way and all these other ways that we can't even humanly move our hands, right? There's all these other dimensions that you have access to. So the first thing that I want you to realize with money is break that pigeonhole, that box of it's only this or that. I either have to do 9 to 5 or I have to do this. There are millions of other options available to you. So before we even go any further, the sound's good now. Okay, before we go any further, give this video a thumbs up, ladies, so more people can see it. By the way, I'm not going to be emailing out every time I go live anymore. I didn't like it was like holding me back. So I'm just gonna go live. So if you want to know when I'm gonna go live, subscribe and have your notifications on. That's going to be the best way. So let's do a little activation around money and then we'll keep talking a little bit more. So I want you to put your hand on your heart. And I want you to relax your body as you become aware of your breath. And notice if you're holding any constriction, any tension, any tingles, any tightness in your body as we're talking and thinking about money. How does the concept, the word, the consciousness, and the energy of money feel in your body? So as I'm tapping into money, I'm feeling ease. I'm feeling deep joy. I'm feeling contained and held. I'm feeling safe. I'm feeling my best authentic self. I'm feeling luxury. I'm feeling time and space. And I'm feeling options. And when I'm tapping into the energy of money, I'm noticing that in my consciousness, it's linked to passion and fun and creation and love and joy and relaxation. Just tap into money and see how good it feels. And notice how good you allow yourself to feel before something negative creeps up. Sometimes students will say they feel good meditating on money with me for 2 minutes and then something negative will pop up. Then you know you have a 2-minute money container before the self-sabotage steps in. And we're just going to channel some messages from the field about money. And what money wants you to know is that it desires fun and expansion just like you. And it seeks out portals in individuals and corporations and bank accounts that are going to expand it in fun ways. And it wants you to know that just like you don't like to be in a too tight container, you don't like your freedoms to be taken away, you don't want to be constricted in any ways, money doesn't want to be constricted either. And it tries to avoid those individuals that have negative thought forms against it. Just like when we have friends or frenemies or people that are negative about us, we don't like to spend too much time with them. They make us feel bad. Money also wants you to know that it will follow your orders. So if you tell it that it can only come to you through a 9 to 5, it can only come to you through a 9 to 5. Money has specific instructions from God not to break your free will, just like everything else in existence. If you tell money that it's going to come through fun, then it will come through fun. If you tell money that it's going to come through self-sacrifice, then it will come through self-sacrifice. If you tell money that it needs to be penny pinched, then it will be coming through penny pinching. If you tell money that you get paid to exist, then you will get paid to exist. If you tell money that it comes to you while you're sleeping and resting and vacationing, then it will come to you during those times. The narrower your portal of how you tell it to come, the less it will be able to come through. The more you leak it, the less you will be able to accumulate. It's simply following your orders. And God wants you to know that Even though all of the religious books have told you that God is infinite and almighty and unlimited, you keep limiting God. You seem to think that God can only give you money either through your partner or through your job or through whatever you've decided that it's going to come through. But you don't really allow God to be infinite. You don't really allow God to be unlimited in your life. And God wants you to know that you are being asked to uncouple whatever your current circumstances are, where money flows to you. God is asking you to unplug that and plug it back into the field. You now have permission to manifest money from any and every portal available, every channel available that is of the highest good. You have now the ability to receive money from any place. It doesn't have to be from your business. It doesn't have to be from your man. And it doesn't have to be from your job. You will only receive money from the channels that you believe exist. And of course, there is a morphogenetic human field, but it's all ever expanding. The individuals that have been able to receive money from many channels believe that money can come from many channels. You will never have money as long as you believe that money is bad and money is evil. You won't have money if you believe rich people are bad, because you will never allow yourself to become rich. You have to have your own personal relationship with money. If you believe you are a bad person, then money will become bad in your hands. Just like a weapon can be used to take a life or to save a life, money can be used in multiple ways. Money loves to be used for expansion, for growth, and for fun. So in many ways, in as many ways as possible, when you use money to expand, to grow, to have fun, when you invest in things that bring you love, light, and joy, the more money you will have. So just take a moment to unplug money from survival and plug it into the field of God, plug it into fun, plug it into joy, plug it into luxury, plug it into overflow, plug it into there's always more than enough and always expanding and growing to do all the things that I want to do on this planet. In fact, there is so much overflow that you get to leave a legacy for your descendants. Your children get to be trust fund babies, and your grandchildren get to be trust fund grandbabies. And just take a moment to apologize to money for limiting it and constricting it and not letting it be fun and high vibe for money to be in relationship with you. I'm sorry, money, if I've ever constricted you. You're allowed to come in my life from any fun place that you choose. And I now know that I don't have to sacrifice anything to have you or to be in a relationship with you. I'm sorry if I've told you that you can only come to me from one channel. I now realize that you can come to me in any channel that you desire. And to God, I say, please put me to good use. Please make my education, my life experiences, my voice, my wisdom a channel for health on this planet, for wealth on this planet, for joy on this planet. And through that, may I create barakat and overflow and abundance and make it rain every day in blessings and money and prosperity and luxury. And whenever you're ready, so it is. How did that feel? Let me know in the chat. How is everyone feeling? Ground yourself. I sometimes feel a little woozy after these meditations. So I'm just gonna look at the tripod, look at the feet on my furniture, ground my own feet, and just get my energy back down. Mm. What's coming up for you guys? Feels so good. OMG, Kabibi said, Mina, always so delicious. The more I invest in myself, the more money is drawn to me. Girl, yes, that's like literally the mantra. So yummy. This made me tear up. It was so beautiful. Yes, money's just been trying to have this delicious, fun relationship with us. Yeah. So when we unplug money from like, it has to come from this place, we greatly limit it, but it has no choice but to follow your instructions. It cannot defy free will. Hi, Mina. Thank you for that beautiful meditation. It was timed perfectly after I finished the Millionaires video. The question that came up for me was that I have reached higher sums of money. Beautiful. Whenever Mina says, put your hand over your heart, I drop everything. I love you, Kayla. I love that. Feels like freedom. So luscious and extravagant. Yes, I love the word extravagant. My forever mantra is money loves me and comes to me easily. But during this meditation, money became a girly girl who wants to play with me. Yes, yes. Money wants to play. Just like we want to play, money wants to play. In multiple points of my life, yet have also lost them because I did not have the nervous system to keep it. Yep. That's why it's not always best to get everything all at once. I'm grateful that God has given me things as I was expanding my container because I've seen what can happen to people when they receive things too fast before their nervous system can catch up. And I've often seen disaster in people's lives. So I'm just glad it happened slowly for me in the way that I was able to do it in that timeline. I love that. Jasmine, welcome to Level Up Queens. If you guys would like to join the live chat and have access to exclusive videos, member videos, join the chat. The join button is in the description box and is the link if you need the link. Also, if you want more of these kind of transmissions on money, like the energetics, my Millionaires Play Shop is a great place to start. And then there's a code in there for you to upgrade to the full money course if you desire later, or you can just start with the money course. Both of those links are in the description. Seeing money as a person made the biggest shift for me. Yeah, another way of saying it too is that, everything is energy and we're energy in a human body. Well, money is energy in a money body. And so why would it want to have a negative relationship with you? Why would it want to be with you when you think it's evil? Why would you want to be with it when you have hot and cold feelings towards it? You love it one moment and then you hate it another moment, right? Why would it want to have this kind of traumatic roller coaster style relationship with you? Money is healthy. And so it doesn't want to do a weird, funky kind of situationship with you. It doesn't believe in boyfriend girlfriend status either. It wants the full relationship. So that's really the place is first unplugging all of the bullshit we've been telling, the stories that we've been telling about money this entire time. Mina, that was potent. I have been fasting all week and just finished my breath work. I was looking for a meditation and saw that you were live. Perfect timing. So grateful for you. Awesome. I wasn't even sure if I'd be able to come. I wanted to come live, but then I did a training in the money grid with my money grid mastermind students, and it went over, like it was like 2 hours. So I'm like, oh, I don't know. And then I'm like, no, I'm gonna miss these girls if I don't come because I often don't have time to come over the weekend. Namana, I think it is. Welcome to Level Up Queens. Beautiful name. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Welcome, Summer Nights. So what, as I'm going up these different levels, let me move this so you guys can kind of see. It's not all gonna make sense because this, I explained it in the money grid, but let me see if I can at least explain. My handwriting also sucks, so that doesn't always help. But so there's these different like levels. Let me make this better actually. Can you guys even see it? Let me make it better. Let me see. I wasn't planning on using my whiteboard today. I love that I have like a whole section here now with my pink board in the background and the whiteboard, so I can like really get nerdy with you guys. Like I'm obsessed with this scenario. Okay, so maybe I can use this one when I'm like sitting and teaching. Okay, can you see that? Okay, it works. Let me see how far up I can go. So let's do it this way. Let me see if you can see that. This is our first time using it, so hopefully you can see that. Okay. Ultra high net worth. So that means ultra high net worth. And then there's high net worth. And then there's deca millionaires. And then there's multi millionaires. And then there is millionaires. Okay. Then we can say that these are official terms like financial. I'm adding these ones because these are levels of consciousness that I feel like everyone goes through. But let me just, these are more in the entrepreneur realm. So six figure months, six figure year, and then below that, I would say it's like average, right? Now you guys see that I should have been a doctor with my handwriting. All right, so most people are here, right, in the average. I'm trying to see if you guys can see that. Yeah, you can see it. In the average. And their container, because they're telling money to only come through whatever their average is, it's a, skill set or like a 9 to 5 job or something. The most they can even imagine, like the most they can even imagine and hope for is that they get it to here. This person, like this is like most people's ultimate goal. And they're willing to sacrifice a lot to get here. They're willing to sacrifice their health. They're willing to sacrifice time with their family. They're willing to do a lot to get to this here. Okay? This is God. This is where human consciousness is right now, meaning what we consider the ultimate wealth as a morphogenetic field in all human beings is billions, right? Like we can't imagine an individual or many individuals like being trillionaires yet. Like this is as far as it goes. Between here and here, obviously it's like eons of distance, but our brain, our human brain, we don't have 4 minute miles for trillionaires yet. We have 4 minute miles for billionaires. We don't have it for trillionaires. So after this, it's just a big gap and then God. When you're telling God that money can only come to you through whatever you've decided. Tell me in the comments what you've told money. It can only come through my husband's job, or it can only come through my job. I have people tell me, but Mina, I'm already earning at the top of my industry. Like, how can I possibly manifest more? Do you think that God is a peasant? That your one industry is the only way that God can send money over to you? Like, that doesn't even make sense to me. That does not make any sense. Money has come to me in my 43 years on this planet from countless places. It has nothing to do with, like, could you imagine God being limited by an industry? I can't imagine having a conversation with God where God says, I'm so sorry, Mina, but I would have given you more money and more opportunities, but the medical field just can't do it. Like, what? Doesn't make any sense. So when you tell money that this is all it has to work with, those are the instructions. It still wants to come with you to you. It wants to play with you, but you're telling it this is the only direction it's allowed to move. And in my life, at each of the I've been below this level. Like, you guys know my childhood story. So below average, there's poverty, right? I've been at all of these levels, and every level has this whole data set collection, this morphogenetic field. When you're in there, you believe certain things, you eat certain things, you know certain things, you behave in certain ways, and you think that's all there is. And so at every level, I've had to expand my container to believe new things, to know new things, to have different belief sets, and just keep expanding. Your goal isn't to like reach at some level. Like, I remember when I was here, I was like, if I could only get here, God, I'd be so happy. Then I got here, then I said, God, if I could be here, then I would be so happy, right? That's all. I would never ask for anything again, except we're expanding, we're growing, we're always going to have more desires. As I say, the divine feminine is a bottomless pit of desires, and it keeps the world creating. That's what we're here to do. It's like telling ants that they can't make ant hills, or telling beavers, oh, there's such a beautiful duck. Oh my God, let me see if I should try to show it to you guys. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it. Right outside my office. Maybe I'll take a picture next time. Should we attempt it? Sometimes when I show you guys from here, it doesn't like, oh no, is she behind the palm tree? I don't know if you can see her. She's like here. Okay, you're gonna see her come out the other side. Do you see her? I don't know if she's coming up in here. Anyways, sorry, I get excited. Oh my God, there she is. Hold on. There she is. Okay, we're gonna come back. Come back. What was I saying? Someone remind me, what was I saying? Let me see what you guys are saying. Diane said, realizing that money has its own desires blew my mind. It wants fun just like I do. Yes. And we call it names. We're like the abusive friend. We're like the abusive narcissist friend in our relationship with money. And then we wonder why it doesn't want to spend more time with us. Love the board. Thank you. I needed that. I've come to realize that I manifest big things through my husband, and then he feels burdened and his container bursts and we lose it. I need to expand my own container to receive big. Okay, so if you're a part of a unit, there's your container and his container and your container, like the us container. And if you want to be able to manifest on these levels, even I would say you could even do probably millionaires by yourself. But like, if you want to be able to manifest on these levels, actually even you need to start thinking of us, even if you're single, because there's you, and then there's your partner if you're married, and then there's your estate. If you're single, there's you and there's your estate. You still have to think of it as us. So you will always be limited by the weakest container. So if your container is high but your estate's container is low, that's the limitation. If your container is high but your husband's container is low, that's the limitation. So what we do, my husband and I, is we expand our container together. Not it doesn't always line up, but what it looks like is that one person will expand and then hold the space, hold that energetic space for the other person to catch up, so that we are somewhat moving in alignment, even though there might be 3 months gap, 6 months gap, but we're moving in alignment because if we both can't expand our container together, there's always going to be a leak in the energetic bucket. Can you see that? There's always going to be leakage. You writing has been a strong activation for me. Oh, I'm so surprised you're saying that, Monica, because I feel like I have the worst handwriting ever, but I try to do my best. It's almost like the more you co-create with God through desires, the more He compensates you. Bingo, bingo. We were talking in the money grid, and there's a lot of university bundles and bundle students in there, and story after story they've been talking about how they didn't have the money, they had the desire to get the university bundle, they bought the university bundle on credit, business loan, credit card, whatever, and then the money showed up, and then the promotion showed up, and then the expanded ability to earn show up. They had to make the decision first. This is how it runs in my life. When I make a decision that I get to have this, the opportunities show up afterward. I think the average person waits for the opportunity to show up first, and then it never does. Because you never made a damn decision. You never said yes to God. God made a decision, but you never co-signed it. You never gave your free will. Hi, Eileen. Irene, welcome to Level Up Queens. You have to go first, and the universe mirrors you. The truth is, the minute that the desire was given to you, God had already decided. But without your free will, nothing can happen, nothing can move forward. I love just the new levels and the new consciousness that I've had to learn. And I wasn't planning on doing this, but let me see if I can, at least the levels that I've activated. Obviously, I don't know about all the levels yet because I will never try to teach you anything I haven't embodied. So I'm not going to try to pretend here and tell you I know how to activate the billionaires because I don't. I haven't activated her yet. But I'm sure there's going to be new exciting lessons at that level as well. So when I was, and I think these lessons are individual, but I'm going to try to give you mine and see if it resonates. I'm going to try to write these ones better. These are six-figure months. This was six-figure in general. And then this was average. So like anything under six figure. And then this was poverty. Okay. Sorry, I'm having a bad hair day. Like I wasn't planning on like showing you guys all my angles today, but we don't care, right? You guys already know how I am. Today we're having a casual lazy day. Okay. So when I was in poverty level, the lesson I had to learn was that I could not depend on other people. Now you might be saying, Mina, that's not good. Like that's very like self-aware Barbie. But I was a basic babe. I needed to learn that lesson. You can't bypass lessons, right? I've told you guys that before. You can't bypass lessons. So when I was in poverty, I realized that I was always going to be in poverty if I depended on other people, that I needed to take control of my own life. So when I was in poverty, what poverty taught me was, Mina, get educated, learn things, and make your own decisions, and then own those decisions. So that was the lesson of poverty. And I thank poverty. Thank you, poverty, in my life. You taught me one of the biggest lessons of my life that I needed at that time. I learned this when I was like 16, 17. Best lesson ever to learn at that age because it got me out of the basic babe stage. Okay. I realized that I needed to stop manifesting through other people, that I needed to be able to manifest through myself. I was deserving of manifestation. Okay. Thank you. Someone said, I love my white, you love my whiteboard. I love that I have like a whole corner. When I was doing my money grid training today, we were like switching between the whiteboard and the pink board, and I was in heaven. I'm like, this is so much fun. I love it. I love, love, love it. Special shout out to my husband for like setting this all up perfectly. When I was an average, meaning just earning like, 30, 40, $50,000 in my first couple of jobs, as a teenager, early adult, right? I learned that if I was going to do what everyone else was doing, behave like everyone else was doing, work like everyone else was working, the most that I could do in my life was be average. Oh my God, did you see you guys didn't see my pink board? Look at that behind over there. Ta-da! My pink glam office. So we started off in the money grid teaching on there, and then we moved on here because like we got that all covered. I haven't even had a chance to erase all of that, and then I moved into this live stream right away. So I have like a whole corner, a teaching corner for my classes. Okay, back here. So that was the lesson that I learned in average. It might be different for you, right? I think we all are here to learn different lessons, but that was the lesson that I had to learn. When I had the desire to have six figures, I had to detach from the corporate grid and start my own business. So I started earning my first six-figure years and then multi six-figure years when I started my real estate business. And luckily, my mom was already in real estate and she was able to guide me and help me through that. And so she was a mentor to me. So I was able to do this fairly quickly my first year in real estate because of her mentorship. Mentors can help you completely collapse time. So that was amazing. And so I had to learn the lessons that I had to activate there was first ungrid from corporations and create my own business. And secondly, be able to self-motivate myself when I didn't have to clock in somewhere else. That was the lesson that I learned activating six figure. After this, the next desire was that I wanted to keep earning six figures, but not work. Like I needed time and space to do my inner work and be a woman. So at this point, I got married to Irfan. So this is where Irfan came in my journey. And he retired me. When we got married, I was 27, but the next month I was 28. So that's why I say he retired me at 28, because I was like 1 month away from my 28th birthday. So he retired me. And so for 9 years, I just had my babies, raised my babies, did my inner work, learned a lot. I read hundreds of books during that time, watched thousands of hours of interviews, podcasts, YouTube, documentaries, just immersed myself in just creating a whole new identity, a whole new consciousness for myself. So in here, I didn't necessarily have outward results, but I was still being provided for on a six-figure income because my husband was bringing in six figures at this time in his life. After this point, I started this business. So in 2017 is when I launched this business, my courses, coaching, all of that stuff. And interestingly enough, that first year, I reverted back to six-figure year because that was my container. Because the last I had had a business, I was earning six figures, multiple six figures a year. When I started my new business, the first year I started off exactly where I had left off because that's what my container was at the time for earning money. I didn't start earning millions. I earned where my container was before when I quit the other business, which was fascinating. So I did that the six-figure years, the multi six-figure years. Then I had my first seven-figure years. Then I moved to six-figure months. Then I moved to multiple six-figure months. And then actually so this one's a little bit reversed. So we actually became millionaires in 2014 when Alina was born from Irfan's saving and investing his entire life was our first million was is 2014. By the time I started my business in 2017, we had already been featured on Dave Ramsey Multimillionaires. But then when I didn't start feeling like a millionaire until I earned it from my own business, and also we had a collective net worth of a certain number. So the lesson here was that if I wanted to feel like a millionaire, I had to identify with the energy of wealth and not see it as something that was coming from outside of me. That was the lesson that activated that. That I had to have the energy of wealth and prosperity coming from inside of me versus saying, oh, I have this much in my bank account, therefore now I'm this. That was the lesson I activated here. This multimillionaire status was when my inner work here was around expanding my container and believing that more money gets to be safe. Because what happened when I plugged into this, when I got to this point, is that I plugged into the morphogenetic field of that more money, more problems. You guys remember that from the song back in the day? Was it in the 90s? So what the lesson God wanted me to learn here is that that's just one viewpoint that people have. That's just one grid. Some people have chaos inside of them so that when they have more money, it activates more chaos. It amplifies whatever was already there. And so I had to do inner work around, is there any chaos left inside of me? Is there any part of me that is still addicted to suffering? Is there any part of me that still believes that money comes with problems or money comes with issues or anything like that? So that was the inner work there. Over here, reaching at this status, I had to activate my full co-creating and channeling with God codes. There is no way that I would have been able to get to this point without activating God in my life on another layer. Like God was always here in these levels, but here it was like it shifted from I'm here and God's there and you're giving to me, thank you, to like God's here and I'm here and we're co-creating. So this is where to activate this, God had to become my business partner. You guys heard me talk about this in the Lady Balls book, when God is your business partner. That couldn't have happened without us partnering up. It couldn't have happened from me being in the peasant consciousness and and you know how when you're in a peasant consciousness, you're in like this begging energy with God, if that makes sense? Okay. So that's, let me see what you guys are saying. And then I just activated this level in 2024. I've been doing inner work since October around this, October, November, December. It's just started trickling in. So I'll give you more information about this. So this is according to like financial things, anyone that's 20 mil or more, ultra high net worth is considered 100 mil or more net worth, and billionaires is obviously $1 billion or more. Deca is 10, multi is more than one, millionaires is one. I figure that you guys already knew that. Okay, so let me see what you guys are saying now. Let me come back over here. Career Woman, the Mindful Career Woman said, hello everyone, finished Lady Balls January 1st. Happy to catch this live. Yay! I'm so glad that you finished it. Let me know what you think. Kiki said, so interesting. My husband retired me at average. He was at six figures. So when I started a business, I started back at average level. My husband was at seven figures in his business by then. That is so interesting. And of course, I don't mean to imply that this is going to be for everyone. Like maybe the inner work that I was doing could have started me at a higher level, but to be honest with you, the inner work that I was doing had less to do with money those 9 years and more to do with self-worth, trauma releasing, relationship stuff, people pleasing. So when I did start the business, it started at the six-figure mark, which no complaints, but I had to like do more expansion in our work around money after that. So it's interesting that you had a similar experience. Okay, so Irene said, Mina, I had a massive decision with my boss about money energetics 3 weeks ago. As I'm in real estate myself as a sales agent, we talked about all that I have embodied through your teachings. Oh, that's wonderful. And he was truly mind blown, and I realized in that moment, your work is so embedded. Oh my goodness. I'm so glad that you're kind of like teaching your boss through your overflow. That is amazing. So some people, what they want is they want to skip from poverty to millionaires. Everyone just wants to be a millionaire. But you can't hold the field of being a millionaire if you haven't embodied the inner work that you are required to do. And yours might be different. Please don't think that it's going to be like, obviously, I talked about in the book that we all learn different things from our parents. Some of it is encoded in DNA, some of it is conditioned. And so, based on my unique experience, God customized an experience for me. And obviously, I'm not done, right? Money is just reflecting my own inner work internally that I'm doing. It just gets to be this wonderful um, gauge to see, oh, wow, what else do I get to expand in? The funny thing is that it's not just about the numbers here. As I expanded through each stage, not only did my bank account grew, my ability to hold more laughter grew, my ability to experience more pleasure in my body grew, my ability to have more vulnerable conversations with people grew. So it expands your entire container. But when people want the shortcut and they just want to skip through and nothing's changed for them, that's when the world, just bitch slaps you back down and says, no, ma'am, you cannot skip a line, go back down. And these people will self-sabotage through whatever, destroying their relationship, destroying their health, gambling, addictions, drugs, whatever, right? They'll find some way to end up back down. That's not really a punishment. It's like, nope, go back so you can learn the lessons God intended for you to learn in this life. I feel so privileged to be in on this live. Thank you so much for sharing this perspective. You're so welcome, Diane. Oh my God, love that. Money is a barometer for your inner work. Yes, it truly is. I have noticed that anytime, and it's not just this, so is my relationship. So anytime I have a new level of expansion with my marriage, more money comes in. Because when we both expand, our container expands and our ability to hold that joint container goes up. I had such a profound experience today, and you guys are gonna think I'm nuts because this isn't anything new for me, but I felt it in a very different way today. So I was getting dressed this morning and Irfan decided that he was going to make us brunch. And I didn't know he was in the kitchen cooking. And as I was getting ready, I was doing my makeup. Alina came in and she's like, Mommy, you should see the really pretty plate that Daddy made you. I said, Oh, Daddy made brunch? And she said, Yes, he's calling you. So I went out and he had this pretty, like, there's this like Pakistani egg omelet that we both make. Irfan makes it and I make it, and it's just like a spicy egg omelet. So he had made that, and then there were shami kebabs. Shami kebabs are like these kebabs that are made from, I don't know what the lentil is called, but like part lentil and part beef. They're so delicious. So anyway, so he had this plate set up for me, and he does this often. So none of that was unusual. But I think I was like in a mass opening of my container in that moment, and I took a bite of the omelet and it was just like being immersed and like gut punched with like love. The best way I can explain it is like I felt like if God could personify himself as a husband, that's what had happened. So it felt like God came down as my husband and made me like this godly omelet. And the thing is that Irfan and I used the same exact recipe to make this omelet, and he every time he makes it, it's so good. But this time, this morning when I was eating it, I just felt emotional. Like every bite, like I remember taking that first bite, and it was just like being filled up with love. I could feel Irfan's energy in such a strong way. It combined with like God's love energy. The second bite I took, I felt like this warmth of like protection coming around me. And I found myself just verbalizing this. I was like, oh my God. I was speaking to Alina, but Irfan was listening, and Ayan was sitting at the table too. I was like, Alina, I feel like Daddy just filled up this omelet with so much love. I'm like, it just feels like I'm eating love. And I was just saying all of these things, and I could just see like Irfan just standing there and just like feeling really proud. But I was just having this really, really profound experience of love through an omelet. It's so weird to explain this. I haven't even fully processed it yet, but it's the most depth of love that I've ever felt. I think that if someone asked me to feel the energy of being provided for, that was it in that moment. I've never felt more loved, more provided for, more in touch with God, and more in love with my husband in that moment that I was having that omelet. It was a really weird experience. And I know that all of that is coming from all of the inner work I've been doing around expanding my business and expanding my marriage and expand like my own energetic ability. So when your ability to experience love on that level and then pleasure on that level, and I was telling him, I'm like, I make the same omelet, but like the way you make it, I feel so loved, like from the inside out. And then Ayan goes, Mom, this is what I mean when I say that you have the best cooking. This is how I feel when I eat your food. And I was like, oh my God, you guys are gonna make me cry. So you can't feel that when you're not expanding your container. When your container is small, the most you can say when you eat someone's omelet is thank you. This was not a thank you. Can you feel that it was more? I'm like at a loss of words to explain this. I feel like God himself made this omelet through my husband. That's what providing feels like, being provided for, I mean. When you said you didn't start your business until you got your money beliefs together, I felt so relieved, focusing on the masculine structures and aspects first. Yeah, and I mean, some people do it the reverse. I don't think there's any right way, honestly. I just did it the way God told me to do it because I have my unique traumas and things from my past that I had to work through, right? I keep seeing 888 all the time, still trying to feel God and hear what I'm being called to do to unlock. Yes, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, Leslie. Thank you, Divine. They both said that's so beautiful. Thank you. So at the end of the day, any inner work we're doing is just so we can feel life more and we can create more. That is what container expansion is. That you can feel deeper, you can love deeper, you can receive deeper, right? Hi, Mina, your work has fulfilled me. Feminine energy is healing for me. Can you please share a tip on how I can flow back into my masculine in 9 to 5 while I'm so drawn to feminine way of making money? Babe, I feel like you already know the answer to this. I don't like answering questions like this, like the tip questions so much. What I would do is sit down, put your hand on your heart, drop in, and ask God. What do I need to do next? What's my next assignment, please? What do you want me to do next? And my tips will come from what my shortcomings were, what I needed to expand into, what I needed to work on. You have your own. So, the purpose of doing inner work is that you can start listening to yourself more and start custom tailoring your inner work, not just to follow what I'm doing. The most important thing I'm here to teach you is to get your relationship with God right so you can start hearing your own instructions. Some people need to activate more masculine energy to create right now. Some people need to activate more feminine energy. Some people need to do neither and just rest, like do nothing. Some people need to activate some hustle energy in them because that's the part of them that's missing. That's the part that they've shattered, that they've hidden, right? So what you need to do is going to be custom tailored to your specific needs in your inner work journey. To me, that definitely sounds like a next level of being able to receive and enjoy love. That is so amazing. Thank you, Divine. Yes. I went from worried about the how to getting excited and curious how it's all going to unfold. Yes. And the thing is, if I was just worried about the how, I would have missed all the opportunities of inner work I had to do because that was the whole point. The point wasn't to have the millions. That was never the point. The point was, who do you get to be and how do you get to express God in this lifetime? That's it. And so the journey is the most important part. We're not here to skip steps. Because if you went from poverty to here, then what? What now? Are you just going to die now? Like what? Like there's inner work that has to be had. There's experiences, there's growth, there's love to be loved, there's pleasure to be had, right? And so let this journey be fun. Let it be enjoyable. There's our desires and is encoded with things that we're here to learn and grow. Yeah. And as always, my team will clip the meditation that I did, the activation in the beginning, and put it in Love Light's meditation. We'll also put it in Millionaires for you guys because I think that the Millionaires Play Shop goes so well with this training. I highly recommend it. If you have the full money course, then the Millionaires is already included inside of that. I'll put the link in the description box, but it's also in the chat. Hearing you talk about feeling and loving more deeply is so motivational and exciting for me. It feels like this is activating something for me. I love that, Leslie. And I love that we don't have to figure it out. Just being in that energy will activate it. And the thing is that Irfan's been cooking for me since we got married. Like he cooks, sometimes I cook, sometimes we order out. Like he loves cooking for me. But this is the most deepest that been able to receive it, right? There was different levels. I was always grateful, but this is the deepest, newest level where I was like, damn, oh my God. Like I don't know even how to receive beyond that level yet. That just felt so expansive. It's like reaching new levels in a video game. Exactly. I used that example in the money grid. I was like, some people keep playing the same damn level. I used to play Super Mario Brothers when I was a little girl. Oh my God, there's so many ducks in the little lake outside. Were you guys able to see it when I showed you? I couldn't tell because there was like three or four now. Sorry, I'm just obsessed. I just sit here sometimes and look out and see the squirrels and the birds and the ducks. It's just so fun. I can't believe I get to live here. So, yes, it's that's what I mean. That's what I've been teaching you guys in Femme Fortune Container course, that you have to expand into different levels of receiving. I was talking about Super Mario Brothers. Remember Yoshi? He was so cute. So I used to play Super Mario Brothers, and remember there were new levels. You don't just keep playing the same level over and over again, but that's what most people keep doing here. They either keep doing poverty over and over again or average all over again because they're not willing to change their beliefs around money. They're not willing to receive money in new and profound ways. They just want to rinse and repeat and complain and bitch and moan. Oh, you could see it? Okay, good, good, good. They left now, I think. If they come back, I'll show you guys. Sometimes they're in our yard. The other day, I was going up my driveway and they were following me, and I was scared that like I wanted to get in the drive in the garage and close it before they actually came in because I didn't want them to like get trapped in there. But they were following me into the garage. Yes, every time my desire was filled, it was more than who I became. It was more about who I became in the process. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's so much fun leveling up and growing, like to see how good it gets, how good we allow it to get. That's how good it's going to be. How good will you allow it to get? Most people, like the minute they get here, they come back down. That's more comfortable. The minute they get knock themselves back down. I had this, but then I lost it all. I did this, and then blah 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 happened. I did this, and then I manifested a sickness or illness, whatever. Right? They're not willing to or able to or know that they have to expand their container at every level. At every level, there's going to be layers of inner work, and it gets to be fun. It gets to be easy. It gets to be fun. I love that part. That's my favorite part. The who I get to be. Because when I expand here, I'm also expanding in my ability to receive an omelet, and eat with so much pleasure and joy and feel God's love in something that my husband is providing for me, or just feel the joy on my kid's face over something that we did together. Just all of these little things, you experience them in 3D and 5D in Technicolor when you are expanding your container. Yeah. All right, loves. I love you guys. This was so much fun. I wasn't even planning on doing the whole whiteboard thing, but I'm loving my little whiteboard moment corner here. This one lives on the side here, and then I'm able to, when I'm teaching in courses, I can move between the two with just like a tilt of the camera. And I'm just really appreciating how everything turned out in the new office. By the way, my middle son started his little business. He's on LTK. What he does is he links every all of my outfits. So the skirt that I have on today, the top, everything, my even my slippers for my these are my glam office slippers. I have the red version downstairs. So my bedroom has is black and white with red accents. I got the red one for downstairs. And then my office is white and pink, so I got these pink ones for up here. So he's gonna link all of that stuff for you guys. I'll post his link. And then I also put some of my glam office stuff in our Amazon store. So here's Ayan's store if you want to support his business. Your work has got me more interested in Jyotish and human design, and I'm enjoying the journey of seeing my chart from the lens of my faith. It was an aspect I was unaware of. I thought it was a metaphor. Wonderful. I'm so happy to hear that, babe. If you guys are looking for human design readings, my oldest son does them. You can email him. His email is majestyofdivinity@gmail.com. And I will also, it's in the description box of all of my videos, but I'll also put it in the chat for you guys. I feel like it's more like a floating up when we do it in feminine energy. It was fun and airy and sometimes sad, but it was like floating up. Interesting. So grateful for this live. It's like candy for the soul. Yay! Oh my God, I'm so happy. If you guys want more of these kind of trainings on money, Millionaires will be a great play shop for you guys. And if you got the full money course, that will blow your mind. Thank you, Mina, for everything and all that you do, always honoring the transmissions from any video content of yours. Thank you for being here on today's live. You're so welcome, Eileen. I really appreciate it. It feels so good to be appreciated. Thank you, thank you. I love you. I will see you in the next one. Bye.